Hello, welcome back to another video. If it is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Nicole and I sell vintage home decor on Etsy. It is currently 11:10 p.m., which is my bedtime, so it's a little bit random that I am up making a video right now, but I just had the itch to do a little thrift haul. I actually just posted a shipping video, and it was the first video that I have posted in like 3 weeks. I just took a little bit of a creative mental break. I have not done a whole lot of thrifting since moving up here to North Carolina, just because I have a pretty big backlog of inventory, and now that I have such a tiny storage space, I'm trying to be really intentional about what inventory I have in there. But I have accumulated some stuff from a few antique malls, as well as some old stuff that I've never showed you, and also some holiday items. This pillow, for instance, I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. This pillow oh, interesting. I just actually noticed something. This is by the brand Williamsburg, and I sold a Williamsburg needlepoint pillow in the past. It was a butterfly pillow and it sold for a really high price point. I can't quite remember, but I'll put it on the screen. But this pillow is adorable. I have it here on my couch for now. It has a little Christmas wreath on it with some fruit. It looks like there's plums, an apple, pears, very cute. And I just love the small size. Also, to state the obvious, I put up some Christmas lights. I put those up actually like the day after Halloween. They were kind of tucked behind the couch before, so I finally got them hooked up onto the wall. But I love Christmas. I love the Christmas season, and I typically start decorating and listening to Christmas music like the day after Halloween. While we are on the topic of needlepoints, I have several really fun needlepoint items that I want to show you. First is this adorable girl. She has a blue dress on and a little basket with flowers. In one of my recent thrift hauls, I had someone share that they were bummed that I wasn't sharing prices, so I'm going to make sure to share the prices of my items in this video if I can remember them. I probably won't be able to remember all of them, but this was priced, I believe, at around $35 or $34, and I asked the mall, it was from an antique mall, I asked them if they could do any better on the price, and I ended up getting it for, I think, around $28. Next up, I have this gorgeous needlepoint stool. It has this floral detail on the top and a bunch of different colors, and it has these nice wooden legs and a tag on the bottom that says, it looks like it was made in Richmond, Virginia. This piece I actually got a discount on too, just like the other piece. I got this from an antique mall. It was originally $35, and I asked if they could do better on the price, and I got 10% off. So that means it would have come out to, I think, $31.50. I've talked about this a bit in the past, but if you are a reseller or if you're just out thrifting as a regular shopper, you usually can ask for a discount if you're buying a large sum of items from a store. I have been thrifting for probably 10 years at this point. I started early on with clothing, so my entire wardrobe has been thrifted for pretty much the last decade. I've only recently got into home decor in the last 2 years, but before I had my small business, I never would have dared to ask for a lower price on an item at the thrift store because it just felt wrong. And even when I first started out my business, I wasn't really great at negotiating, or I was nervous about negotiating. I didn't want to negotiate on prices. But now that I've been doing it for a while, and now that I've actually had my own antique booth, I've learned that typically at an antique mall, if you ask for a discount, you can usually get about 10% off. That's actually baked into the contract that a lot of vendors sign when they're opening up their booth space. The mall will have a rule where if a customer asks for 10% off, if the item's above a certain threshold, that they are able to give a discount to the customer. I could do a whole video on the topic of negotiating and bartering, but I guess if I were to give a quick tip, typically I will negotiate in one of two circumstances. The first circumstance is when I'm at an antique mall. If I have a large sum of items that I collect up at the counter, I will pick the highest cost item in that bundle and ask if they can do a lower price price on that one item. Typically, the vendors at the mall are happy to say yes because I'm buying a large sum of items and it's of mutual benefit to both of us. I'm purchasing more items from them at the mall, and then I get to have a little bit more profit in my profit margin on that specific item. The second scenario when I'll negotiate is if I find a piece and I'm genuinely unsure about getting it because of the price. With this piece, for instance, I actually was not sure if I was going to get it because $35 is just a bit high for making a profit. Realistically, I can probably sell this piece for around $60 or $70. Before I went up, I thought to myself that if they could give me the piece for $32 or less, that I would buy it. So I kind of determined that ahead of time before going up, just so that I'm not frazzled and so that I'm making good financial choices. At the end of the day, just be kind, reasonable, and respectful, and you will be surprised at how many businesses are happy to negotiate with you on prices. I mean, even myself, with my Etsy shop, I have offered items to people at a lower price if they message me and we work something out. It's an item I've had sitting for a while, then it ends up being of mutual benefit to me because I've secured a buyer and then they get a discount. So don't feel guilty about negotiating prices. Okay, next I have another needlepoint pillow. This pillow I believe I got for $16 at an antique mall. Similarly to this needlepoint pillow, this one also has a wreath on it, but it's just more generally spring themed. It's not holiday themed. And it has some hibiscus flowers. It looks like little lily pads. It's very, very precious. I've never seen any design like this before. And then it also has these adorable ruffles on the side. I think that this is the cutest needlepoint pillow I've ever had in my possession, and I'm very excited to list it. It has such a nice cottage-esque appeal to it, and it's also a lot more vibrant and colorful than a lot of vintage items, so I really love this piece. Next up, I have this resin nutcracker. I don't think that this was a good purchase in retrospect. I got it at an estate sale several months ago back in Florida for $10. There were a lot of resellers at the sale, and there were also a lot of nutcrackers, real nutcrackers at the sale, Christmas nutcrackers. I stayed away from the nutcracker section because people were going rabid in the nutcracker section because I guess nutcrackers can be somewhat valuable, and so it was intense. So I just kind of stayed away. But once everyone dissipated, I ventured over to that area and I saw this guy and I thought that he was cool. But in retrospect, I think I was just pressured into getting one of the nutcracker items because I saw how enthused other people were over them. And I have no idea if someone would want to buy something like this because it doesn't actually move or anything. But yeah, we'll see how it does. Next up is a Christmas decor item that I absolutely adore, and it is this Scandinavian style Santa. I say that it's Scandinavian because it has this pencil writing on the bottom that says Scandinavian. I don't really know where it's from, but I love the colors on it. Some holiday decor pieces can be like really bright red, really bright green, and just kind of jarring. And so I love that this piece has these pastel colors and it has a little bit of sheen here, and I just really like it. I think that this is the most beautifully done Santa I've ever seen, just with the colors and the pattern and even his like facial expression. He just looks very stoic. Next up is another Santa item, and this is a teapot. So the Santa head comes off, which is a little bit frightening, but it goes back on, and when you pour the tea, it doesn't come out. This guy was made in Taiwan, and it is by the brand Heritage Mint something, and it says collectibles with a little eagle on the bottom. Nothing too crazy about this. I just thought that it was nice. I am pretty picky with Christmas decor, and so whenever I see something that I like, I will pick it up, and this is something that I happened to like. Next is this really cool brass theater mask. This is another example of a piece that I wasn't sure if I was going to buy. I believe it was $35. And so I asked if they would do better on the price. This was at an antique mall, and they said yes, and they gave me 10% off. I still don't know if there's going to be a ton of margin in this piece, but it's just one of those things as like a collector that I didn't want to pass up, and I listed it today. I think it's really cool. It has this burnt orange velvety ribbon so you can hang it. It's a little creepy and a little weird, but I do like it. Next up are some more holiday decor pieces. This is a latch hook Christmas tree. I love how big it is. It's so cute. I got this off of Mercari over the summer when I posted my first thrifting online video. This is one of the things that I picked up. I believe I got this piece for around $9 or $10, including the shipping that it cost. In the same order, I got this smaller Christmas tree latch hook. Super cute. It has the hooks on the top to hang it up. I absolutely love these. These are another thing that I listed today, and I'm very excited to see if they sell and how they do, because I think that they are pretty cool. The smaller one was also around $9 or $10, by the way. Next, I have this beautiful French brass. Actually, I think this is actually from Canada. Where does it say? Okay, yeah, this is not French. This is Canadian. Maybe it's French Canadian. It's definitely French style. I actually have a very tragic story about this piece. I got it from a thrift store in Clearwater back in Florida, and I got it for $30, so I paid up for it. And I remember I didn't have any reception, or my phone was dead or something, and so I couldn't do a Google Lens, which I usually do a Google Lens if I'm buying something at that price point to just see if it's worth it. I just had a gut feeling about it. But when I bought it, it had this beautiful globe on it. I'll try to find a picture on Google and insert what it looked like, but it had this kind of dome ball white thing with some like gold detailing around the side, and that was the lampshade, and it was so pretty. Then one sorrowful day, my robot vacuum, who we call Robbie, was vacuuming my office, and he bumped into this and knocked it over, and it just shattered everywhere. So that was pretty sad. I actually ended up using this in my old bedroom on my nightstand with a different lampshade on it, but I'm not using it anymore and it's just sitting around, so I figured I would sell it. I do think that the lamp base could still sell for a decent amount. It's very heavy, it's very ornate, has a nice patina on it, and in theory, any lampshade can go on this. It works. It has one of these little flicker things and a very old plug, which is always fun. Equally fun and equally scary, because sometimes I'm afraid that these old ones are going to start a house fire. Next, I have a Christmas plate. This is handmade, which is so cute. It's signed with the initials JPH on the back. Because I used to do ceramics, I do think I know what this person did to design this. But I don't think that this is hand painted. I do think that this is some type of transfer decal stamp thingy-mabob. It's very cute nonetheless, and it's a little Santa with a star. I got this piece from Goodwill for around $4. Next up are these cute star ornaments. I have had these for over a year because I had these in my old antique booth last Christmas. I'm pretty sure I got them for like 99 cents a piece from the thrift store, and I can't believe that they never sold in my booth because I think they're really cute. Next up, I have this brass door knocker that I got from an antique mall recently, and it was made in Spain, which is really cool. It has a little whale stamped on the back. It says Spain, and then it says Things Remembered, which I'm guessing is the maker of this piece. And I got this piece for $10. Next is an interesting find. This is a piece of wall decor. I don't think it started out being wall decor. I think it was just some type of organizer, but somebody wrapped it in this very pretty floral patterned paper, and they glued some wall hooks on the back so you can hang it up. I think it actually is supposed to go this way based on the hooks, but I thought this would be super cute to put trinkets in and just a fun thing that someone could put up on their wall. I love the ferns. I love the pink and green. The pattern is really what sold me on this piece, and I think it was $13 or $14 from an antique mall. And last but not least, I want to show you this awesome deer skull. This is a piece that I actually purchased the day after I moved here to Asheville. I got this at an antique mall. It was originally priced at $75. I asked if they could go lower on the price and I ended up getting it for $68. When I purchased this, I didn't know if I was going to keep it or sell it. I figured that first off, I love animal skulls and like taxidermy and stuff. I think it's just so cool and fun to have as home decor. In fact, I'm going to go on a little tangent and show you something from my windowsill. Let me grab it. This right here is a raccoon skull that my fiance found out in the woods a couple days after we moved to this house. Here it is up close. It's not in perfect condition because we obviously found it in the woods, but you can see, if it will focus, you can see it has some teeth on it. How freaking cool is that? So yes, case in point, I love animal skulls and bones and taxidermy, bugs, all that kind of stuff. And I have always dreamed of owning one of these ever since I lived in Florida. And people don't really have this kind of stuff in Florida. Obviously, at least where I'm from, in more South Florida, people aren't hunting, and I just never see this type of thing displayed in people's houses. But I've always admired these, and I found one. It was a decent price, so I snagged it. But I don't really have a spot for it right now, and I'm leaning towards selling it, so I'm planning on listing it this week. These typically can sell for around $150 to $200, so I definitely have some profit margin with this. The only thing is that the antlers are asymmetrical, if you can see. This antler, instead of going outward, it just goes straight forward. So I don't know if that will negatively or positively affect the value. I have no clue what effect it will have on the value, so I need to look into that. I will be horrified to ship it, but it'll be fine. That is all for my thrift haul. It is now 11:45 p.m., so I didn't do too bad on time. I'm gonna go to bed, but thank you so much for watching. Let me know which item was your favorite. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Happy December, one of my favorite months of the year, and I will see you in my next video.